Alright, hello everyone and welcome. It's David, aka Fairmere4731, and I'm bringing you a little visual guide on taxes in the campaign. And in this, I'm doing an experiment. I heard a long time ago that if you switch your tax rate to lower for the middle class, that you're actually going to grow your economy faster. So I'm going to put this to the test. It is now the year 1713, and London or England has just gained Liverpool as the regular tax rate as you get it in the when you start off. You don't have to change anything. It's both middle level for both the upper class and the middle class. So just got Liverpool, and you can see here where our tax rates are at the moment. So for the region of England, we are sitting at a wealth of 7029, and we're sitting at a 40.5% tax rate, and the wealth is 2844. And the whole government, we're sitting, and we've got income level of our next turn is going to be 2179, and you can see here our regions are yellow except for London. London's the only one that's green, and we have, if you look over to the other side, you can see that there's no regions growing or no more towns growing. And I haven't changed anything. All the ministers are the same. You can see here the tax rate is at the middle level, and this is now at the year 1713, so basically 26 turns in. And this is where the economy is on if you just keep it just as it is. So we're going to try and see how the experiment goes. We're going to do the same thing, and the only thing I lost is Rupert's land over in America. That's the only region that was lost. And so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go all the way to 1713 in the other with the other economy, and we're going to see how it matches up and meshes up.
Fishing port will help your
All right, so as Nancy Drew over here is telling us, we've got a new port, and it is Liverpool. So we're going to go ahead and build that, and it's only 1705, so we are 11 turns in. Holy mackerel. That is insane. So right now I'm just going to kind of take a look at the economy of where we stand at this point. So the total, altogether, our tax income, we're sitting at, what is it, a net income of 2187. Okay, so that's actually where we were at when Liverpool was on when we did our tax rate at the middle level. Of course, it was further along. I think it was like 1712 or 1713, and I'm going to continue on to see how this changes. But we're at 2187. That's a higher income level than it was when they achieved Liverpool. So that's pretty darn incredible. And the tax income is at 4146. So that is pretty standard. I mean, pretty on point where the other one was. So there could be some other factors why that is that way. Let's look deeper into it, because so if we're looking at England, you can see the health of the region. The people are much happier than was on the other way, and we're already at 61 before Manchester's built. So that's a big bonus too. So right now we're looking at our wealth in London is 6896, and the tax rate is 34.8, and we're making 2400. So at the end of the experiment, London was making 28.44 with a 40.5 tax rate, and their wealth was 7,029. So we're getting closer to that point. Of course, London had more turns on the other experiment, so we're gonna do it the whole turns to match up exactly where they're at. Now this is going to change because Liverpool, I am going to build Liverpool because I think that's okay because I was going to build Liverpool when we got it anyway. So let's go and see how this changes things. Okay, so it is now 1713. That's when we got Liverpool on the other tax rate. So let's take a look and just see how London is comparing to London with the other tax rate. So wealth. So region wealth, we're sitting at 70.29 at the other tax rate. Now we have 72.52 with this tax rate. So we actually have more wealth. And as far as public order goes, we were at 11 with our upper class and 6 with our middle class. So we've improved tremendously with our middle class, and our upper class only decreased by 1. So our public order is way vastly greater on this method. Now the region growth per turn was 8. On this level it's 10, and so potential to grow this region faster and continue to improve the economy is going to be vastly superior on this method. So again, the income though, it's still higher because of the tax rate. It was 40.5, this is 34.8. So there's that aspect. So you're talking about, it's basically a 300 coin difference between them. Okay, now as far as the growth per turn is still at 0.41% versus the other rate is 0.17, and right now we're looking at 43 turns before Manchester's built versus the other option, you have no villages growing at this point. So this is only going to increase as time goes. Now let's take a look at the total economy. So now the actual money we had in the bank on the other method, we had 86,111. So we're talking we have a greater a lot more money in the purse from where we were. That's because you start with your economy moving a little bit slower in this method, but right now the growth is at in economy per turn is 2405 versus the other method was 2179. So we're making more money per turn now than we were previously. So, and it's only the year 1713, so keep that in mind too. It's still fairly early in the game. And just to give you perspective on it, so the tax income, it is all that is going to be a little bit lower, but you're making more money on your trade as well because your wealth is higher, so your trade merchandise is going to be more a little bit better. So anyways, again, your other regions are going to be all green on this method versus the other method you were looking at yellow and only London was green. Okay, so that is kind of surprising to me that we're actually already at this point higher. Now the other thing that I didn't look at, I was just looking at London, but you also have other regions as well that have other towns that will be growing, and at this point they're growing. The other method, they were no towns being built at this time, so everything is growing, and if you're building these buildings, you're going to be getting all this is the numbers are just gonna increase. So you know, if we built the buildings, you know, I wonder how much different this would have come out. But like I said, I mean, there's a lot more factors. You'd probably have to go a lot further into the game to see how far the differences are. But anyways, interesting development there on that, and I can see how doing this method, which I've done in the past, but you know, I didn't really didn't know how much it was helping versus the other, because it's kind of hard to tell. But as you're taking over other regions, they do heal their relations towards you heal, so you're not going to be dealing with as many riots and so forth. You still will, like if you take over a capital region like Paris, France, you're still going to have revolts, but you're not going to have them as long with that, because your middle class is going to be a little happier with you versus the predecessors. So yeah, so there's that whole aspect. So anyways, very interesting. So hope you like it. If you want to see more of this type of thing, please let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you on the next video. Please, again, like and subscribe. It does help the channel, help us to grow. So thank you again.